If you are someone who cares deeply cares about living a purposeful life, you want to be aligned with who you are, you want to be authentic, you don't want to wear masks, you don't want to fit into societal structures and molds, and you feel like you outgrew your life. You feel like you outgrew your life because you're not living true to yourself. Look, this video is for the purpose of helping you unmask your life, which I've been creating content about. But most importantly, you cannot live your most abundant, prosperous life with healthy relationships, thriving, loving yourself, if you are being inauthentic with yourself and the world. You will never feel seen. You will never feel heard. You will never feel like you're doing the right thing, like you're always gonna feel the split and disconnection with yourself if you are not authentic. So we have to bridge the gap between who you are and who you want to be. How do we bridge the gap between who you are and who you want to be? This is what we're going to be talking about in this video. Okay? So, because I know you have gifts. I know you have gifts. You know you have gifts. Even if you're not conscious of the fact that you have gifts, you do. But you were taught to be fitting in molds of what everybody else wants. And that needs to end. Why? Because we're going into 2026 soon. We are going into 2026 soon. And if you want to have those New Year's resolutions or whatever the fuck, you want to create the soul-aligned business, you want to change out of corporate, you want to step up and share your art, you want to break free from family dynamics, you're just tired of feeling small, we got to face some things. So I'm going to help you bridge the gap in this video, all right? Please like this video as a sign of reciprocity. I appreciate you being here. You can subscribe if you're called, and I post videos almost every day. My name is Grace. What I help people do is heal their inner wounds and blocks and subconscious belief systems that keep them stuck in repetitive pattern cycles, childhood traumas, generational traumas. If you know that there are things blocking you, but you do not know how to get rid of them, and you just keep looping, and you're like, why can't I get ahead? Why do my relationships stuck? I'm just stuck here. My relationships suck and I'm stuck here. I get it. I understand. I have a whole tool belt to teach you how to release your inner blocks and wounds and old emotions so that you can get them out of your body and experience and connect to who you are so that you can be free and confident in what you're supposed to be doing every single day. Knowing what you're supposed to be doing, sharing yourself and loving yourself, all right? If you're interested in coaching, you can book a free 30-minute consultation call below. All right? I'd love to talk to you. Let's get into the video. So, you know what? I'm going to pull up my notes because I have been being really, really good at notes. Why? Because I care about you. And I know where you're at right now because I was there. So how about I share a story about how I got into an authentic life so that you can feel me. You can feel me, you can find yourself in me. Because if you found this video, I'm here to mirror something about your growth, okay? So I grew up in a household that I felt like a black sheep. I never felt like I was seen or accepted. I always felt like I wanted to do things against the status quo of everything else. I hate authority. I hate anyone telling me anything of what to do. So from a young age, my dad used to tell me, you are unable to reach your dreams. You can't do it. I wanted to be an artist. He was like, no, you can't do that. You have to be realistic. So I was always told by my dad specifically, you can't do it. And there's a bunch of people in my family, they're not living their dreams. I know my mom watches my videos. I'm sorry, Mom. I love you. My mom is a supporter of me, so I appreciate you being here. But I never felt like I could share who I was. I always felt like I was giving to other people instead of giving to myself. So this created a split between who I really was and who I wanted to be. So it's like a double life. My inner world wanted more. It yearned for more. It yearned for freedom and expansion and love and authenticity and being felt and true to myself. And then the real world I was living in felt like, this is small, this is stuck. Why am I still trying to prove myself to my dad? And so I escaped. At 19, moved across the country to Los Angeles to find myself. And I didn't give a fuck about what was gonna come from that. I packed up my car and said, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I gotta go. This led me on a journey of figuring out who I was and what I truly wanted. And I couldn't get there. Why? Because I had these deep subconscious programs that kept me in the same patterns and cycles that kept me in a life that was smaller than what I wanted. I kept creating toxic relationships in lovers relationships, okay? I kept repeating the same cycles that I experienced with my dad. And I was just like, I feel ashamed of who I am. I don't feel empowered about myself. I don't feel confident. So that led me on a journey of healing my inner child because I had to figure out what my blocks were, which I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel seen. I felt like I had to prove myself. I felt like guilty and ashamed of myself. I felt like no matter what I would do, I wouldn't be accepted because I never fit in with anybody anyway. So if I never felt like I fit in, why would it work for me? Why would I be successful? How could I find my purpose? How could I create a life that I wanted? I was so afraid that I wouldn't be accepted, but I did it anyway. And I faced the adversities because I have 3 planets in Sag. And I will, if I choose to do something, I fucking do it. Period. So guess what? I did lose my family. I did. And I know that you're probably someone who has to give up. They have to give up their family to some degree. Your family isn't gonna get it. If that's something that's blocking you right now, your primary relationships from being who you really are, you gotta face the fact that they're not gonna get it. But what you sacrifice trying to fit into the family to be your true self. To be your true self, to find your true self. So what in your life does not reflect your true self? If you want to feel confident, abundant in your life, in your purpose, in your money, by being your true self, you have to let go of what blocks you, which means you got to go deeper. You cannot manifest your way out of traumas. If you're someone like me, you have a slightly abnormal amount of childhood trauma. You do. Slightly abnormal. But that means you have a cool character. You probably don't take much shit from people. You might be more introverted by nature, but you're on a journey right now through the universe to heal yourself and become better because ultimately your path is going to be sharing your gifts with the world, sharing your voice, not being afraid to be seen, because this is breaking generational patterns that have been passed down to you through your lineage. So you're the one doing the generational trauma healing. You're the one doing generational trauma healing. Okay? So that's good. So was I. Now, healing brings you to purpose. It doesn't just bring you to purpose. Your ego wants to bring you to purpose, but your ego wants to bring you to the purpose that it thinks it wants you to have. When you're connected to yourself and you make that a priority, you don't have to feel good every day. I don't fucking feel good every day. This world is insane. But I know myself. I live my purpose. I show up every day because I have the blueprint activated within me. You have to activate your blueprint. How do you activate your blueprint? I'll tell you. I'll tell you. And also, by the way, if this video ever stops in the middle, it's because I ran out of storage and I'm gonna post it anyway, okay? So, hear me out. We have to figure out what your true self says and listen to your true self, because that will lead you to soul purpose, which will align you to the abundance that your soul wants to experience, not the one your ego wants. But it will be better for you. When you can listen to your intuition and you can trust your intuition, you will be guided to exactly where you need to go if you listen to that. But if you have a mask on and you're not clear about what you should be doing and you're playing out these like different roles that you've outgrown because you're afraid of coming into your truth, that's the problem that we have. This is the problem that we have. So what does your soul want? And this is about taking care of yourself, meeting yourself, loving yourself, okay? Before other people. We have to bridge the life between your old life into your new life. And that bridge is the healing work and self-actualization. Your soul will bring you exactly where you're meant to be, will lead you exactly to those places when you trust yourself and take action from your own self and not them. Stop putting other people's perceptions of you above your own instincts and desires to change and grow. It's not gonna work. You're gonna feel like shit. You don't wanna feel like shit. You wanna feel like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I wake up and I do it. I know who I am. I wake up and I do it. I know what fills my cup. I wake up and I do it. I have boundaries when I need them. I know how to put down boundaries. I know how to say no. I know how to distance myself. I know when things are toxic. I know how to clear my inner blocks, wounds, and traumas. I know how to do that healing work, which is the healing work that I can teach you exactly a set of tools that you can repeat for the rest of your life to clear anything from scarcity wounds, money issues, relationship issues, any inner blocks that you have. I have a blueprint for you to heal yourself. That's what you're receiving when you're stepping into my world. Because you're the one accepting this life. If you don't want to accept this life, you have to bridge it. You have to decide you are done. You have to be so tired of being small that you're willing to take a risk and jump into your new life. This is a process. Your soul will tell you the steps, the necessary steps, as you continue to choose yourself. But if you're not choosing yourself right now, do not expect your purpose to come to you. Do not expect yourself to live an abundant life. You have to choose yourself. You have to choose yourself. And let's say 3 months of choosing yourself, you start getting divine ideas about how to make your money now. But you already know this level, what you gotta shed. And if you don't shed that, we don't have a conversation. We have no conversation about you being your best self if you're not willing to let go of these old relationships or to accept the fact that your family won't accept you. If you're not willing to do that and distance yourself and do that, then there's no purpose talk. If you're not willing to go back into your inner wounds from childhood, there's no purpose talk. Face your shadows, face your inner limitations to transmute them, which will get you closer to the essence of your soul. This will get you closer to the essence of your soul. That is your path. Stand in your own authority and stop caring about what mom and dad will think. Who fucking cares? I'm sorry, but they are stuck too. So who are you going to listen to? The voice of the false self, or are you going to be brave to connect to the true self and act on that? That's what I want to know. Because I'm not going to validate your, oh, I don't have time, I'll do it later. I don't have time to focus on myself right now. I don't have the time to invest in myself right now. You don't have the time? You don't have the resources? You want to stay here? When the world is changing and it's crazy and you're supposed to be sharing your gifts because you're a light worker. Your people are waiting for you and you're sitting around making excuses as to why you can't rise. No. You can't allow your ego to stop you. You can't let your beliefs stop you. You can't let your wounds stop you. That's bullshit. All right, inner child healing is what gets you to purpose. I stand on that hill for the rest of my life. I've experienced it in myself, and I've experienced working with 3,500 plus clients, and I have testimonials to back it up. You are the common denominator. You cannot blame anyone outside of yourself. Step up and rise. You know your soul is calling you. And when you look back, you're going to say, I should have done it sooner, right? How much pain do you want to be in before you start choosing yourself? How stuck do you want to feel? Because you don't want to, and I know you don't. And I know you don't. All right? So, that's my transmission. I'm going to go take a walk in my beautiful home. Not in my home, but around my home. And sit in the sun and go to the gym and take care of myself so that I can show up for my purpose correctly. All right? All right. I'm sending you my love, all the beauty, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Let me know how this resonated. All right, bye.